Hello, and welcome to episode number 222, I believe, of the TEW 2 Challenge Run. This is going to be Friday Night SmackDown for week 1 of February 2022, as we begin the road to No Way Out. Things might look a little bit different on the screen right now because I do finally have a proper computer, so I had to obviously take a couple of days off to get it all set up and get my microphone, my monitors, my everything, my OBS and everything back the way it should be. But we're moving, and we are on the road to SmackDown's No Way Out pay-per-view, fresh off the heels of the Royal Rumble. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. The Bloodline are out to open the show, and Heyman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I should be standing to you here tonight. An elated special counsel of your tribal chief, your reigning WWE champion, Roman Reigns, your head of the table. But I'm not standing here that elated, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you why. Because Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins went to war at the Royal Rumble. And Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they always go to war. They've been at war back for like going on 8 years at this point. But in the end, Roman Reigns finally got that monkey off his back. He put Seth Rollins down with the guillotine in the middle of the ring. So now, Mr. Rollins can't challenge again for the WWE Championship while Roman Reigns holds it, and that's all fine and good. But that's not where the night ended for Mr. Roman Reigns. No, because out comes The Rock. And The Rock, he thinks that he's the top guy, that he's the head of the table. But no, let me tell you this, Dwayne. You should have stayed in Hollywood. Because if you stick your nose in the tribal chief's business, he'll have no problems proving to you why he's the top of this family and why this family now revolves around Roman Reigns. It does not revolve around The Rock anymore. Because The Rock abandoned his family. Now Roman Reigns, he knows that The Rock, he's not going to want to hear that, but let's just call a spade and say the truth here. Roman Reigns, he is the leader of this family. The Rock, he ran away the second he got the bright lights of Hollywood. And you may think that makes you the head of the table, the top guy in the family, The Rock, but Roman Reigns says otherwise. And stay in your world, and Roman Reigns will stay ruling this one. Then out comes Rey Mysterio and Dominic. You know, like, Roman, sorry to interrupt, you have had one hell of a reign as the WWE Champion, and you'll look like you might be going to WrestleMania with the title, but I can't help but take exception because you and your family, you've... obviously, me and my son here, we care more for family. Our family lineage goes back. It's not about who the top is of the family. It's not about being the head of the table, the top guy of the family, Roman. It's about making your family proud, and that's what I do. That's what Dom does when I see my son in the ring, and that's damn sure not what you do. And then Roman takes the microphone. He's like, "Who do you think you are, Ray? Listen here. If you want to get yourself involved in my business, we can settle this tonight. I'll put my title on the line against you one-on-one, Ray. What do you say about that?" And Ray's like, "Well, I'd be honoured for wrestling you for the WWE Championship. It's on." So Rey Mysterio, the family man that he is, has taken exception to Reigns' sort of family moan fest, and has ended up getting a WWE Championship match out of it tonight. We then return to the ring after a commercial, and New America are in there. Sammy's all beaten up, obviously, and Ali's like, "Well, as you see, our message, it goes, there's a lot of people that we need to right the wrongs of." And Sammy, he tried, bless his little heart, on Raw. Not enough, apparently, because, you know, he got attacked and couldn't really get the message spread. But hey-ho, he gave it a go. But what we're really here for tonight is not Keith Lee or John Cena or any of those people. It's Drew Gulak and Matt Riddle. These two doofuses think they got one over on me and Sammy in that Royal Rumble qualifier because Sammy couldn't do what he was told. And we missed out on the Royal Rumble because of you, Sammy. So how about tonight we watch as Babatunde Eggbasi and Yujiro Kushida beat the holy hell out of Drew Gulak and Matt Riddle and avenge our defeat And maybe then the message will get delivered loud and clear once they realise we're all capable of stuff like this, and you are a bum, Sammy. Sammy's like, okay, bruh, chill. Doesn't happen, obviously. In an 80-minute match, Riddle and Gulak defeat the lackeys of the message, or New America, whatever we're calling them now. And Riddle submits Kushida with the guillotine. 88 for Gulak, 95 for Riddle, 75 for Kushida, and a 57 for Babatunde. Yeah, it's a pretty fine match. Yeah, it's just weird because TEWs are really small on my new monitor. So it's... yeah. Sasha Banks and Dana Brooke then come to the ring. And Sasha's like, look, I should be standing here, your SmackDown Women's Champion, and the only reason I'm not is because of Mickie James. Mickie, I don't understand why you decided to be like this. I was saving your career, you were floundering without me. And I know you said you were going to carry here and say, oh, I'm a 5-time Women's Champion, yada yada yada. Yes, that was before I got here in WWE. You'd be nothing without me in the year of 2022. And that's why I understand why you're so angry, because I'm the top of this division. I am the standard. You're in my... under my guidance, you could have been, once again, the greatest women in this division. Who wouldn't want to be aligned with the boss? Because there's not a single damn woman on this roster that can touch what I do in that ring. And you know it, I know it, and all these people know it. Then out comes Io and Kairi. And Io again gets in the face of Sasha. And she's like, we have a tag team championship match up next. Do you mind fucking off? And Sasha's like, well, I'm going, but not because you told me to. So, obviously, Mickie screwed Sasha at the Rumble. Mickie, again, just sort of popping up as and when to annoy Sasha Banks. She's not here tonight. But the tag team champions will be on the line against the team of Caitlyn and Melina. They do this sometimes when they have a surprise in the Royal Rumble, like Carlito wrestled on Raw after the Rumble in real life last year. And I was like, hey, we've got Caitlyn and Melina still around. Let's just stick them on the show for a nice feel-good moment. So they're not actually part of the roster. They're just here because they're in the Rumble. I'm still on my roster. But it's a nice little match to do on the telly. Io pins Caitlyn with a moonsault in 7:31 to make defense number 4 of the tag team titles. 81 for Kairi, 97 for Io, 42 for Melina, and a 20 for Caitlyn. After the match, Io and Kairi are celebrating when Sasha comes back out, attacks Io from behind, and Dana comes in, she attacks Kairi, and the two boss girls lay out Io and Kairi, and Sasha sort of looks at the tag title. She's like, you know, I may not be the SmackDown Women's Champion, but I'd sure quite like this. Happy Corbin is here. He makes his Happy Corbin entrance because he's coming to the ring. He goes, I'm still, no matter what happened at the Royal Rumble, I'm still in such a good mood because I'm just always happy. Stone Cold Steve Austin may thought he ruined my night, but all he really did was, I gave Austin the rub. I was in there with him. My success has got me so popular that even people like Steve Austin now want to be in the ring associating with Happy Corbin. But tonight, I'm going to make my grandiose debut, I think. I booked this show about a week ago. I think Corbin's going to be wrestling up next. If he's not, then oh well. Actually, no, I'm almost positive he is, yeah. I want to make my grandiose debut here on SmackDown. You're going to see just how happy I am. And see, if you thought I was good before, just you wait till you see what I can do, and I'm in a good mood. And he gets a 70 against Dijakovic. He pins him in 7 minutes and 18 seconds at the end of days because he gets a distraction from Tony Nese, who's dressed similarly to Corbin. And he helps Corbin win and tells him a knee-slapping joke. '72 rated segment, Andrade and the whole of Legado de la Sombra are backstage. And he's like, you know, I should be standing here, Zelina, as the Royal Rumble winner. And she's like, yes, you should, Andrade. You preach that shit, King. And the only reason you're not is nothing of your own fruition, Andrade. It's nothing of mine. It's that damn Johnny Gargano and that damn Candice LeRae who stopped You stopped me from saving you. I was doing my job at ringside saving you, and Candice... Oh, I'm tired. And Candice couldn't handle that. She had to come out and make it all about herself. But anyway, that's by the by, because tonight, Raul and Joaquin are in tag team action against the Street Profits. And once they win that, they're going to rise up and become the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Andrade. But forget about Johnny. He's an afterthought. We need to focus on getting Legado de la Sombra on top. Speaking of matches, Tegan walks into Pierce's office, and there are 5 other women. No, well, Tegan and Kylie walk in, and the other 4 are all still in there. She's like, "You wanted to see me, Adam? It's a bit crowded in here." And he's like, "Yes, Tegan, I did so. First of all, congratulations. Huge win at the Royal Rumble over Sasha. As much as she may try and take the win away from you because of Mickey and all of that, I knew you had it in you to win the whole time, and I'm proud to have you as our SmackDown Women's Champion going into WrestleMania." Tegan's like, "Well, thank you, Pierce, that's so nice." And he's like, "Well, that's if you make it to WrestleMania, because we do have one more stop along the way. That's obviously No Way Out, and that's the Elimination Chamber. Tegan, come on." So you may have noticed there the other women stood in this room. We've got Shotzi, Ember, Bianca, and Alexa. It's like, these are your opponents for the SmackDown Women's Championship inside the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out. You got Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Ember. And Tegan sort of looks around. She's like, "Okay, sure, I'll take them all on." And she sort of pauses. She's like, "Wait, Pierce, that's only 5. There's 6 people in the Elimination Chamber." And Pierce's like, "Oh no, there's 6. There's 6 in here, Tegan. You're just not counting properly." She's like, "No, look, me, Bianca, Alexa, Shotzi, Ember. 5. And then Pierce is like, "Well, what about Kylie?" And Tegan's like, "Well, what about Kylie?" And he's like, "Well, she's in the match. Kylie Ray's the 6th participant." And she's like, "Oh my god, really? I am? That's so cool." Tegan's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah." She doesn't want to attack her friend, but they're both in the match for the Smack. One of them could head into WrestleMania as the SmackDown Women's Champion, so you've got to assume that Smiles and Shining will be put on the sidelines as they go at each other inside the chamber. But that then leads to a tag team match. They then work together to defeat Shotzi and Ember. Tegan pins Ember with the Vulture Culture Destroyer in 6 minutes 50. 75 for Tegan, 74 for Ember, 71 for Shotzi, and a 62 for Kylie Ray. Not too shabby, actually. Then get a backstage segment. Ray is in his locker room with Dominic, getting ready for the main event, and when Seth Rollins walks in, he's like, "Look, Ray, as somebody who was just in there with Roman Reigns like 5 days ago, I know what he's all about. He's a monster that I helped create in part, and I tried to destroy it, but it's sort of grown out of control. And now I can't wrestle for the championship one more time. Well, that is unless you win tonight, of course, Ray. But I know he's going to have that dumb idiot Jacob Fatu, he's going to have Jimmy out there with him, and Heyman. I just want to let you know, if you need the numbers evened, I'm your guy." And Ray's like, "Well, that's nice, Seth, but I really think I've got to do this alone." And Seth's like, No, I get that, but just letting you know that I'm here if you need me." He's like, "I appreciate it." Then Rollins goes to leave, and the camera follows Seth out, and he goes to walk down the hallway back to his locker room, and he's ambushed by Jacob Fatu, attacked, thrown against a wall, and then he actually picks Rollins up, and in one of those spots he tosses Seth through like one of the walls backstage. But it's like, you can tell it's one of those flimsy walls, but yeah, they do that a lot, where like so and so throws someone through a wall, but it's like proper flimsy. Yeah, Jacob Fatu just yeets Seth Rollins through a wall. So I don't think he's going to be good to come and help Ray tonight. Just a hunch. Ziggler promo. He's back on SmackDown. He says, "You know, you're all going to come out here and tell me that I deserve it. But that's not the case, because I knew I'd be back. Once I was retired, Bobby Roode, before he put me down for good back at Absolute Zero, I knew I'd be back. And now I've got to reclaim where I left off, because now Roode's in the rearview mirror. I've got to focus on that United States Championship that he took off me. I rightfully defeated Drew Gulak to become the champion. Bobby Roode was in that match. He saw at first hand that I'm the rightful United States Champion. And then he ripped it from me. But here's the thing, Bobby. Braun Breaker, you owe me. Because, listen here, kid. You wouldn't be the champion if it wasn't for me, because I'm the one who helped you win that title by taking out Roode in the first place. So, if you're any kind of man, you know that I'm first in line for a title shot. Then out comes Roode, and he's like, Dolph, welcome back, buddy. Look at you, aren't you doing great? You sure did show me back at the Royal Rumble. Well, here it is, Ziggler. You can't just walk back into this company on your first night and jump to the front of the line. I want my rematch for the United States Championship, not you. Get out of my ring. And Ziggler's like, why don't you come make me, Bobby? I'm sure I'd love to kick your head off again. That's when Braun Breaker comes out. It's like, ladies, chill. This is all redundant, because I am the United States Champion, and what I say goes around here with you two idiots in the ring. What I'm hearing is, Dolph Ziggler, you want to fight, you want to challenge me for my championship. Bobby Roode, you want to fight, you want to challenge me for my championship. Or how about, at No Way Out, this started a triple threat match, this ends a triple threat match, I'll take you both on at the same time. What do you say to that? And Ziggler's like, sure, yeah. And what about you, Bobby? And Bobby's like, yeah, okay, I'll take a title match, sure. We haven't even got to pin you, I can pin Ziggler. And then Braun's like, excellent. See you at No Way Out, boys. It's a triple threat match for the US title, set for No Way Out. Ziggler, Roode, and Braun. 70 rated tag match. The Street Profits take on the Legado de la Sombra. And the Street Profits win because there's another enemy of Legado who they debuted last week by attacking Aleister Black and helping Aleister Black lose to Andrade. And he seems to have got the one up. He doesn't come out. It's like spooky Aleister Black light bullshit. And then Montez Ford hits the Frog Splash and pins Raul Mendoza. 62 for Raul, 68 for Joaquin, 79 for Montez, and a 76 for Angelo Dawkins. But then after the match, Andrade's in the ring. He's angry. He's going, Aleister Black, show your face, coward. Just because you're salty that I beat you. Your big comeback was spoilt because of me, and now you're trying to make me pay? That's not going to work. Come out here like a coward and face the Kingpin. Now Black goes over the title, and he's like, Andrade, you really think that it was one and done between us? When I said I was going to go back to the beginning, that meant wiping you out. And you may have the numbers on your side because you had to get back up. I can take from that what I want. I make that feel like you are the coward because you knew you couldn't defeat me man to man. But if you've got numbers on your side, then he sort of looks down off the camera and lifts something up off the camera, and it's like a smashed up guitar. He sort of looks at his hand. He goes, well, I've got numbers on my side too. And the lights go out, and then standing behind Legado and the lights come on is Aleister Black. And two more people. To his right, Mr. Brody King. And to his left, Elias. Who, last time we saw Elias, he was defeated by Aleister Black. And Aleister he had the smash guitar, so maybe Elias is one of his. And then Elias and Brody King take out Joaquin and Raul. Andrade goes to leave, but then he gets spun around and dropped with a black mass. So the House of Black is forming. Brody King, Aleister Black, and Elias.
We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's
Dominic Mysterio, he's leaving Ray's locker room. He's like, hey, Nay, I've got to put Kayla on screen. She's like, well, your thoughts heading into your dad's championship match coming up next. And he's like, Dad wants to do this all by himself. And I'm going to honour his wish, but, I sure would love to go out there and ensure that there's no funny business. Then bang, super kick by Jimmy Uso. He's like, what's that, Oos? Listen up, Oos. Smash you against the wall, Oos. I'm going to take him out. Slamming his head against the wall and his leg in a door backstage. It's like, that's what you get. That's what you get for messing with the tribal chief, Oos. Tell your daddy. The tribal chief's going to see him in the ring up next. So it appears neither Dominic or Seth is going to be in good nick to help Ray in the main event. And that, of course, means that poor Rey Mysterio in 1430 gets an 89 rating. But Roman does make him pass out to the guillotine in 1430 to make defense number 6 of the WWE title. 92 for Roman and a 78 for Ray. Post-match, the Bloodline stand tall over Rey Mysterio. He tries to fight him off. He's like, come on, Ray. This is your one chance to acknowledge me. And Ray's like, never. He tries to smack him, but then he gets banged, super kicked by Jimmy Uso. Big fucking Samoan running butt splash in the corner by Jacob Fatu. And then held up and Superman punched and speared by Roman. And he holds the belt up high to stand tall to end SmackDown. A 91 rated show. That's actually pretty good. First show on the new computer. It's actually a lovely and nice and smooth. And yeah, content that isn't specifically TEW, and obviously Twitch stuff and stuff on a collaborative channel with my friends should hopefully all be picking up now. So do make sure to keep track of me across the interwebs. But also TEW won't be slowing down. I know it did for this week, but that's because I was getting everything moved over to this computer. Should be fine going forward. Anyway, I'll see you next time for episode 223, which will be Raw. See you then.